straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here.
Hi, I'm Rupha Ramani and you're watching Firstpost. Let's get started. Now, we always speak about sports and the characters who make it so much more colorful. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, the most popular sports person in the world, is set to put the stage on fire in China, a country starved of quality football. And the characters that make a sport are not just the players who play it, but also those who are involved in it, like the commentators, who make a sport so much more enjoyable to watch it, or the sporting accessories that make it that much more special. The jerseys, the caps, all the merchandise, that bat that helped you hit the special knock, or the ball that helped the player take a fifer. This show is an ode to some of those. A commentator who says all the wrong things to elicit much laughter, and a cricketer in search of his most cherished possession. But first, we'll take a look at the headlines in Sports 360. India's Virat Kohli is back in the top 10 ICC Test rankings list. He climbed 4 spots in the list to secure the 9th position. Kohli had slipped out of the top 10 back in 2022. His commendable knock during the first test against South Africa helped him reclaim the spot in the top 10. In football, Girona beat Atletico Madrid 4-3 in last night's thriller. The game was tied 3-all going into second half. Girona scored the winning goal 1 minute into the second half injury time. With the win, Girona are now second in the La Liga but are tied with Real Madrid at 48 points. In tennis, Australia's Alex de Minaur beat Serbia's Novak Djokovic in the United Cup. De Minaur outplayed Djokovic 6-4, 6-4 in straight sets. This was Djokovic's first loss in a match that was being played in Australia since 2018. The Serbian will again face Alex de Minaur in the Australian Open next week. Let's not forget, Djokovic has been struggling with a wrist injury. Scotland's pro golfer Rory McIlroy has spoken in favour of the LIV Golf merger with PGA now. After months of not supporting the merger, McIlroy says he's open to joining LIV Golf. However, he said that this would only happen if LIV Golf became more commercial, like the T20 cricket tournament called the Indian Premier League or the IPL that India is part of. McIlroy says he wants LIV to turn into the IPL equivalent of golf in the world. And in darts, Luke Humphries was crowned world champion last night. Humphries beat compatriot Luke Littler, the 16-year-old, 7-4 in a gripping finale. Humphries has now won 4 of the past 5 world championships. Meanwhile, this was 16-year-old Littler's first ever appearance in a final. Now, India versus South Africa match got over in less than 2 days. In fact, just a while back in Cape Town. It was supposed to be a test match. That's what it was the last time we checked. It can get a tad confusing, yes, with 23 wickets falling on day 1 itself and 7 more at the first session. If you thought South Africa's batting was abysmal, you had to catch the rest of day 1 or day 2 or the highlights now, which is as short as a one-day affair, to see the worst of it. Both teams battling over who could tumble first. Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah starred with the ball during this test match. That was probably the only unsurprising thing that happened through the course of this very short test. Siraj did remark in the post-day press conference of day 1 that it was certainly not a 55 all-out pitch, but what explains India getting bundled out for 153 and of course South Africa capitulating to set India a paltry target of 79. Utter mayhem in Cape Town. But the man who made all the headlines from the test was no cricketer, at least not anyone featuring in either of the squads. Now, those who probably decided to take a bit of a break somewhere would have rejoined to match action, only to a rude awakening just looking at the scorecard, particularly on day 1. But trust this man behind the mic to put it all in perspective for the listeners. India's Ravi Shastri, who is a bit of a riot behind the mic in commentary boxes and around, can leave you in splits when you least expect it. He summed up the match situation at the end of 20 wickets on day 1 rather succinctly. He said, and I quote, yes, 153 for 4 and then 153 all out. If someone went round the corner for a dump and has come back, India has been bowled out for 153. Now, it can't get more explicit than this. That resulted in a bit of a laughter, of course, in the box. And Paumi Bangwa, his co-commentator, sheepishly hurrying in to say, or a drink or whatever that they have gone out for. Now, if they turned away from the game for just a little bit, they missed it. But of course, Ravi Shastri's comment broke the internet. The joke was already out there, and understandably so. For a man who till a year ago was the Indian team coach, it was some dark comedy that brought a smile on a dismal day otherwise. And really, the only man who could get away with such a comment was none other than Ravi Shastri himself. And I thought, why not bring you some of the most memorable moments from the commentary box over the years. Some former cricketers just lend themselves to the commentaries that are etched and passed down. Now, there are many kinds of commentary that leave a mark. There are the funny quips, of course, that get some laughter, and the embarrassingly funny ones too that avid cricket fans almost always wait for. Like when Ravi Shastri, or earlier India opener Navjot Singh Sidhu, used to take to the mic. Navjot Singh Sidhu, for example, made some incredibly ridiculous phrases up that would just get people to wonder how he came up with it in the first place. Like these.
The Indians are going to eat the Kiwis. Let me tell you, my friend, that the Kiwi is the only bird in the whole world which does not have wings. There is light at the end of the tunnel for India, but it's that of an oncoming train which will run them over. The third umpire should be changed as often as nappies, and for the same reason.
And he came up with more of those where it started. He, in fact, even had a book where he maintained some of his amazing quotes. But of course, Ravi Shastri himself, who actually has delivered some lines that have gone down the history books just because of the relevance and sheer significance of it, really can't miss those. Like when Sachin Tendulkar scored a double ton in ODIs. He said, the first man on the planet to reach 200, and it's the Superman from India, Sachin Tendulkar. Or when India lifted the World Cup. Iconic phrases. Dhoni finishes it off in style. And his often repeated phrases like, that went like a tracer bullet, or it's all happening out here. Where else though? But Ravi Shastri makes tosses a spectacle. His booming voice and his hand gestures to go with it, indicating whether the team is batting or bowling first, is now theatrical drama that spectators wait to witness live or on TV screens across. He may have started it off in his usual demeanor, but with the crowds coming in to cheer him on, he now simply adds on to the drama. In fact, so much so that cricketers who he mentored while he was the coach of the national side, or fellow commentators just starting out, have paid homage to the man many a times.
In the blue corner, it's Rohit Sharma. In the red corner, God knows who it is. In the black corner, it's New Zealand. And in the khaki corner, it's Ravi Bhai.
There you go. Game, set, match with DK.
The ball goes like a tracer bullet.
Now, he and his commentary are meme-worthy. The internet laps up all the Shastrisms whenever they happen. It's almost like they wait for the next one to drop in. Fellow commentators can't have enough of him, and the best part, he knows it and quite enjoys all of it. Commentators have their style. A lot of how they played or spoke is whom they somehow manage to bring to the fore when they get that opportunity in a commentary box. Not everyone is able to do it. You have to shed some inhibitions around you, or even laugh at yourself once in a while to get there. That's what fans love the most. And somehow it comes naturally to some of the Pakistani commentators like Ramiz Raja. He often probably doesn't mean to say what he ends up saying though. So there is a lot of unintentional humor there. But some like Wasim Akram genuinely can leave you in splits. Like when he shared this clip on his social media about playing in Australia and what comes with it.
Ever had to feel down at Bay 13, Moss?
Yeah, I did actually. It's a very funny story, but unfortunately I can't say it on radio. Can I though?
Yeah. Anything.
The
Go.
word starts with W. So in 89 when I've got my 6 or 5 wickets, I won't say the word, you guys can guess.
Does it rhyme with banker?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So at Bay 13 I've got Pfeiffer or something. They were calling me that Wasim is...
A banker?
Yeah, Wasim is a banker. Wasim is a banker. And I thought they were praising me because at the time I couldn't get hold of the Aussie accent. It was early days in Australia. And I was very, happy and waving them and everything. And then Imran came up to me, my captain. He said, what are they saying? I said, you're a good player. He said, no. They're saying you are a banker in Urdu. Explain it to me what it meant. I had to say, hang on a minute.
It's anecdotes like this one and some banter that makes watching matches so much more enjoyable and memorable. When we speak of memorable commentators and commentaries, we cannot forget Tony Greig. Something about the way he spoke and what he said struck a chord with many Indian viewers in particular.
The little man has hit the big fella for 6. He's off his size. India have won in dramatic style. The whole of Bengal are on their feet.
Looks as if Enzimum's making a bit of a comeback. Sorry, Enzi. Don't want you charging up to the dressing room here and trying to beat me up.
It's commentators like Tony Greig, Jeffrey Boycott could say the most incredible things on the mic and leave many stunned or just in awe. In today's times, there are legendary lines that have lived to tell a tale, like that uttered by West Indian Ian Bishop when West Indies beat India in the 2016 T20 World Cup semi-final. He spoke of Gartlis Brathwaite, remember the name. It's a phrase that went down for years. Or New Zealand's Ian Smith, not one of the best cricketers, but boy, he delivered the line of the century at the 2019 World Cup final, where he says they won by the barest of margins. He was, of course, referring to New Zealand's heartbreaking loss to England. But there's a reason for the phrase, a commentator's curse. It's not just about that impacting the cricketers on the field, but just reiterates what one slip up behind the mic for the world to hear can cost you. Everyone remembers Dean Jones' faux pas when Hashim Amla took a catch to dismiss Kumar Sangakkara. I'm not going to repeat it, but he, of course, apologized profusely for this. And over time, the association, of course, wore off. But can't say the same for Sanjay Manjrekar. The Indian commentator ended up calling Ravindra Jadeja a bits and pieces cricketer during one of the matches. And forget the internet or the cricket fans. They, of course, went to town making memes and dragging him in with it. The cricketer Ravindra Jadeja himself did not let the man forget it. All that aside, commentary is meant to go beyond match action and statistics. It's what keeps the viewers alive and the match, so to say, alive. So I say bring on the Shastrisms and let's have some fun on the sidelines too. Now, we all started the new year by collectively hitting the reset button, and football world is no different. But there's one player who will not conform to the ordinary. He ushered in January with a personal mission. I would like to call this Mission China. Now, before you let your mind race away, let me introduce you to the protagonist. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to China. We know about it. His club Al-Nassr announced it last month. Now, the tour will feature 2 friendly matches, where Al-Nassr will take on 2 Chinese clubs, Shanghai Shenhua and Zhejiang FC. And it will be held on January 24th and 28th, respectively, in the Shenzhen Universiade Sports Center. The stadium has a capacity of over 60,000 spectators and is likely to be houseful on both match days. If you're still looking to buy a ticket, tough luck, because the moment ticket sales went online, the fans all snapped it up. That's right, every single seat sold. It was practically a mad rush. Like the year-end bumper sale for clothes or furniture, the sale started a little after 11 a.m. in China, or 8:30 IST, and by evening, there were no tickets available. Some reports also said that most of them were sold out within seconds. Only tickets in the 2 most expensive categories were indeed available, but that didn't take too long either. There were enough fans who made a beeline for those 2 eventually. Lionel Messi fans didn't wait too long to take a jab at this though, saying there's not much of an interest as compared to when Messi toured for the Ronaldo tour. They compared it with Messi's visit to China last year and the kind of madness that surrounded it then. Meanwhile, the lucky ones who managed to secure their seats flaunted it on social media for the rest to see and experience that sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Either way, there's one undeniable fact. The Portuguese star has caught on in China too. His impending arrival later this month has boosted China's tourism. Reports say there has been exponential growth, particularly in the city of Shenzhen. After all, fans will get yet another chance to see a legend in action in front of their eyes. This is in fact the 2nd time Ronaldo will be visiting China. The last time he traveled across to play was at the Intercontinental Champions Cup in 2019. In fact, with this tour, Al-Nassr is expected to rake in approximately $13 million. Messi's team, Inter Miami, was slated to visit China during this time, but after they dropped the plans, Al-Nassr only pounced on this and happily obliged. Something the Ronaldo fans have to retort with. For China, it's a win, as Ronaldo is a big draw to the sport itself. Their national team is subpar. They rank 79 in the world. The state of the sport in the country is in shambles, with their former Football Association chairman being charged with bribery only in September last year. So with all that's going on, Ronaldo and Al-Nassr coming over is a breath of fresh air. And what a year 2023 has proved to be for Ronaldo. The man who's inching towards 40 has no intentions of hitting the brakes anytime soon.
It was a good year for me, collective and individual too. I scored so many goals. I helped the team a lot in my side and also in the national team. So I'm really proud. I will continue, I will feel good, I will feel happy, and next year I will try to do it again. I have to say thank you to all my teammates. Without them, this will not be possible. The fans, because they follow everywhere, and I want to continue.
So Mission China is not going to be any different. Objective 1, scoring goals and finding the back of the net as many times as possible. Let's be honest, anything less than being the best is strange in Cristiano Ronaldo's universe. With 54 goals, he topped the charts as the leading goal scorer in 2023, going past the younger lot like Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. Objective 2, make fans all over the world excited about the game as they have been. Ronaldo has said it himself, the game needs to reach out to more parts around the world, and that continues to be one of his objectives. Well, that brings me to objective number 3, set the trend and not follow one. At 37, he decided to give his football resume a new experience, proving that it's never too late. His move to Saudi Pro League that triggered the mass exodus of footballers from European leagues. No doubt he was snubbed from the Ballon d'Or. He was also omitted from an annual ranking list that consists of the top 10 footballers of the world, a list that was published by the International Federation of Football History and Statistics, or the IFFHS. A Portuguese publication posted the rankings on Instagram, and Ronaldo cheekily reacted by posting several laughing emojis to that post. Like we've said before, maybe these lists and these awards don't really mean much to him anymore because he's busy being a part of a historic chapter that is redefining the sport itself. Ronaldo spent the year playing for Al-Nassr. Since the time he joined the Saudi-based club, he has scored 44 goals in 50 matches.
I'm happy because I start to the decision to coming here. Nobody believe that's what I say, but this is the past. This doesn't matter anymore. The most important is the league is grow. All the players who they want to come because they know the league is competitive and the whole world now watch now the Russian league. So it's good.
Lionel Messi was, of course, approached to be a part of the Saudi Pro League. We know he refused, but that hasn't stopped the wheels from turning and to set both of these superstars on track to face each other this year in just some weeks from now. Messi's side, Inter Miami, will play in Saudi Arabia this year against Al-Nassr. It will be held on the 1st of February, and of course, that's another exciting chapter everyone's looking forward to. Now, Australia and Pakistan are currently playing their last test match. Australia is on the verge of giving Pakistan a whitewash, leading the series 2-0. Pat Cummins and his side have been clinical, donning their white jerseys and the iconic green caps. But Pakistan are giving them a tough fight in Sydney. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. There's a new headache that Cummins and his folks are worried about. Their opening batter, who's playing his farewell test, David Warner, has lost his baggy green. As tradition goes, no Aussie player steps onto the field without it. So he has been given a new one, but his missing baggy green has caused quite a stir across the country, and everyone's waiting for its return.
Much like David Warner, who's about to rest his gloves, his baggy green has also decided to take a break. Baggy refers to its loose fit, and green is simply its colour. It's not a style statement or a random headgear. It's literally the holy grail in Australian cricket. It's something David Warner holds close to his heart. As we speak to you right now, it's still missing. It's become the newest mystery that even Hollywood couldn't script. Jokes aside, this cap is given to Australia's Test cricketers. It's a century-old tradition and is also an iconic symbol of the sport. If you still couldn't gauge the importance of this accessory, prepare to be astonished by what we're going to tell you next. Former Australian spinner Shane Warne sold his cap for over $670,000. So we're practically talking about a gold mine here. On the 2nd of January, his treasure went missing in transit. This was just ahead of his farewell test match. Warner said his cap was in his backpack along with other stuff, but it disappeared during the transit from Melbourne to Sydney. And this misadventure couldn't have come at a worse time. It decided to go missing right when it was set to make its grand appearance. Warner had planned to wear it on the final test match of his career. Talk about dreams capsizing at the worst possible moment. Since this mishap, he launched an SOS on social media. He calls it the last resort because he almost seems to have given up hope. Listen to this.
Hi everyone, Dave Warner here. Unfortunately, this is my last resort to do this. But a couple of days ago, our bags got freighted via Qantas. We've gone through CCTV footage. They've got some blind spots apparently. We spoke to the Key West Hotel, who we absolutely trust and have gone through their cameras. No one's came into our rooms. But unfortunately, someone has taken my backpack out of my actual luggage, which had my backpack and my girl's presents in there. Inside this backpack was my Baggy Greens. It's sentimental to me. It's something that I would love to have back in my hands walking out there come this week. If it's the backpack that you really wanted, I have a spare one here. You won't get into trouble. Please reach out to Cricket Australia or myself via my social media. And I'm happy to give this to you if you return my Baggy Greens. Thank you.
So, while cap detectives are all in action right now to rescue it, fellow cricketers are also getting into the act to launch an appeal. Pakistan team captain Shan Masood also urged a nationwide search, and it's gone higher up to the big bosses and the top political corridors. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is also worried about it. So it's turned into a matter of national importance now. The Australian PM, in his first news briefing of 2024, appealed for it.
I do hope, if it hasn't happened already, whoever knows anything about the missing hat returns it soon. Dave Warner has represented Australia on more than 100 occasions. The baggy green hat belongs to him and it should be returned.
Meanwhile, David Warner's father went full on Gordon Ramsay and made the quest for the cap more hilarious. He abused the supposed thief while talking to a local radio station and gave an ultimatum. The latest, David Warner has spoken to the airline about it, but there's still no intel. As Warner battles it out on the field, the world holds its breath for the return of the cap.
Thanks so much for watching us here on Firstpost. It's been a great ride. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.